In 1746, 200 Catholic priests lined up in a French square not to pray, but to serve as live wires for one of the most brutal physics experiments in history. Without knowing what was about to happen, they were forced to hold hands, forming a 1.5-kilometer-long human chain. At the end of the line, a glass jar filled with pure electricity was ready to be released. In the next instant, their screams and simultaneous leaps revealed something that would change the world forever. The speed of electricity surpasses human reason. This is the story of how the pain of these religious became the foundation of the smartphone technology you hold in your hand today. The 18th century was a time when the line between magic and science was very thin. Jean-Antoine Nollet, an ambitious physicist, wanted to prove that electricity was not a mystical phenomenon, but rather a flowing physical fluid. However, he had no sophisticated measuring instruments. He only had one thing: the human body. Nollet started with 180 royal guards at the Palace of Versailles. In front of a bored and entertaining King Louis XV, these soldiers were electrocuted and jumped in unison. But for Nollet, that wasn't enough. He needed a more massive scale to measure the speed of this mysterious electric current. He needed obedient and disciplined men who wouldn't let go of their hands no matter what. The choice fell on the monks of a Carthusian monastery. 200 men were ordered to stand in a large field, forming a giant line connected by thin iron wires. They had no idea that they would become the subjects of the world's first capacitor, the Leyden jar. This jar was a glass jar filled with water and metal, capable of storing large amounts of static electricity. To the contemporaries, touching a charged jar was like touching a tamed lightning bolt. When Nollet released the electric current from the jar, a terrifying physical phenomenon occurred. A distance of 1.5 kilometers felt like nothing. All 200 monks gasped, screamed, and jumped at the same time. There was not even a split second of pause. Under the laughter of the watching nobles, Nollet successfully demonstrated a brutal fact. Electricity travels at a speed barely detectable by the naked eye. This experiment was not just a matter of physics, but of how humans began to manipulate natural energy at the expense of their own nerves. What Nollet did may seem like mass torture disguised as science, but without the screams of those 200 priests, our civilization might still be using candles today. The experiment sparked a worldwide intellectual arms race. Benjamin Franklin in America began flying kites during storms, inspired by Nollet's idea that electricity is a fluid that can flow. The Leyden jar used to shock the priests is actually the most sacred artifact in the history of electronics. It was the first capacitor. Without it, you wouldn't have smartphones, laptops, and electric cars. The same principle that shocked those priests is now used by doctors in the emergency room. When you see a defibrillator attached to a patient's chest, it's a Nollet moment all over again. Energy is stored in the capacitor, then released all at once into the human body to restart the heart. The difference is, now it's used to save lives, not for the entertainment of kings. Over time, electricity has evolved from a magic trick to the backbone of life. We've gone from electrifying people in the field to electrifying giant machines in factories. We've begun to understand how to tame this power with the invention of the battery by Alessandro Volta and the incandescent light bulb by Thomas Edison. However, in this new era, the challenge is no longer how fast electricity flows, but where it comes from. We're returning to an era of refining. While Nollet used to polish glass for hours just to get a single charge, now we're trying to harvest energy from the sun and wind. We're building a future where our vehicles, homes, and even entire agricultural systems are powered by clean energy that no longer tortures the earth. If you look around now, every electronic device you use is a legacy of the pain of those 200 French priests. They are unsung heroes, proving that humans can be a bridge to the forces of nature. We are creatures capable of carrying lightning in our pockets. Perhaps in the future, we won't need lines of people to measure the speed of energy. We already have fiber optics and supercomputers. But one thing that never changes, human curiosity will always be the main fuel for progress. From a glass jar in a Parisian square to a human colony on Mars powered by a nuclear reactor. It all started with one small leap by those shocked priests.